that was interference with democracy, and we don't know how to look at all of the seemingly democratic things that have happened since. How much of what has happened since are the people who took control with that assassination? How much is them continuing to maintain control with a certain amount of democracy? And how much was that an aberration that then returned us to our normal course?
Brett Weinstein and Rogan believes that there is a cheat margin when it comes to elections. Surely such a thing couldn't be true. Surely elections are fair and well regulated. Surely they are free and fair and reliable. Surely we have nothing to fear in 2024. Surely there will be a peaceful passage of power. Surely what awaits us on the other side of November 5th is a utopia, a new freedom, peace in every direction. So let's have a look at Brett Weinstein and Rogan talking about the potential cheat margin.
For me, it was the Kennedy assassination. One good book on the Kennedy assassination, I was like, God damn it, they killed the fucking president. It freaked me out forever. That was like, I literally had a giant shift in how I viewed the world after reading that book. Because before that, I was never a questioner of whatever was in the news or whatever the narrative was that we were being told about anything.
Well, but I mean, I have exactly the same reaction to that story, and I've been down that rabbit hole. And I think you're just ultimately left with a question. Something happened in 1963. That's before either of us were born, right?
Right.
That thing was either an anomaly that robbed the nation of a president, and the nation continued to be a democratic republic in the aftermath of it, or that was interference with democracy, and we don't know how to look at all of the seemingly democratic things that have happened since. How much of what has happened since are the people who took control with that assassination? How much is them continuing to maintain control with a certain amount of democracy? And how much was that an aberration that then returned us to our normal course? And
that's a good point. A certain amount of democracy.
A certain amount. There's clearly a certain amount.
Yeah. Well, which is one of the reasons why they're so terrified of Trump. Like, there's a certain amount of the stealing they can do. If let's imagine if it is dirty and you really can manipulate elections, how much can you manipulate by? Can you manipulate it by 30%? You know, because we don't know. And as long as they can have you believing in the polls, this is what's really important. Polls. Kamala Harris is up by 3%. Oh, she's up. She's winning. Like, who the fuck are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Right. And
you're not talking to me.
What narrative is it in which Kamala has done something that might have caused a surge in her popularity? Like, I didn't see it.
Well, some magic.
But to your point about how much can they cheat, I call that factor, which none of us can put a number on. Maybe they can.
Right.
I call it the cheat factor, right? The cheat margin. And one of the things that I'm trying to convince people of is that it's not hopeless because they can cheat, but it means that you have to succeed at a level that exceeds their capacity to erase it.
Right. So that's what we're talking about. So we're talking about, like, maybe they can cheat by 10%.
Right. And what we know, and I think actually we owe Trump a huge debt of gratitude for proving something that I couldn't have told you if it was true before he won the presidency, which is there still enough democracy left in the system for something to upend the plan? Right? Because he was clearly off narrative.
Right.
And he did become president. So he did something for us that I don't know anybody else who could have done it.
Yeah, it would take a person with that kind of personality that could withstand that kind of abuse. Because he didn't freak out at all when they went after him. He's like,
right.
Just brushed it off like it was nothing.
That's, I suppose, that's what I like about Trump. He disrupted it. That is it, isn't it? That's the thing that brings the excitement. Even if there are things you disagree with, even if there are things you don't see eye to eye on, even if there are things you think, I'm not sure about that. Is that enough of a change? Is that the right kind of world? Is that the world we want to inherit? What you have to acknowledge is that person hacked it. He disrupted it. They couldn't stop him. Yeah, that's pretty exciting and that's pretty inspiring. Don't you think that's more likely the reason he's so vehemently demonized rather than any sort of inherent malevolence within him? I mean, isn't it impossible to imagine that the technological feudalism that lies at the end of the globalist project, total civilian management, where you're on a program for medication, you're on a program for finance, you're on a program for your every move, that you can be social credit scored into a corner at a moment's notice and your automatic driverless car would drop you off at the nearest human depository if you uttered one word out of line with the New World Order's ever-flowing, ongoing, omniscient edict. Man, surely that is the reason we should be excited about all disruptors. My enemy's enemy is my friend, and there are chances yet for disruption. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat, baby.
We can't continue to bring you this beautiful content without the support of our partners. Is financial stress crushing you? Done with Debt have got strategies to get you out of debt permanently without bankruptcy or loans, which is just a perpetuation of debt or the worst thing that can happen from debt. Done with Debt negotiate with creditors to write off balances, cut interest and stop penalties. They have a plan to put more money in your pocket every month until your debt is gone. And having been in debt myself, I know that's exactly the kind of strategy and assistance that I required. And if I was in debt, and God knows it could happen at any time, that's what I would do. The best news though is that Done with Debt is accepting new clients right now. You need to hurry because some of their strategies are time sensitive and relate to, for example, tax and IRS related time limits and prohibitions. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Let Done with Debt hit the debt reset button for you. Make your money yours again. This is time sensitive, so right now visit donewithdebt.com or call 1-888-322-1054. Chat with one of their debt relief strategists. That's completely free, like a consultation, I suppose. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. See you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.